Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a good video for you. This is kind of fun. So as you guys know, Old Blue, I have talked multiple times recently about rebuilding Old Blue's engine, and we are going to go over basically what it would cost for me to do a high-end rebuild. I'm not going to say performance build, even though it will get more performance because of these things that I'm doing, but it is not high performance. Like, I'm not putting a turbo on it or anything like that yet, and I might not even rebuild it. I have to see how things work out with college and paying for school. So we're gonna go in here and we're gonna go right to Summit Racing here, and I'm gonna show you the list that I have compiled. There we go. And I am going to have to sign in probably, so let's see here. We're going to go to my wish list. Alright, here we go. So we are going to start, where are we going to start? So first off, I'm going to start by explaining what happened. So I had Old Blue for like 6 months, and then 6 or 7 months, and then it blew up. I don't know if it didn't blow up, like it didn't blow piston. I mean, okay, so it blew a piston ring, at least in cylinder 1. I don't know about the rest of the cylinders. Old Blue has a 300 straight 6 engine in it. Great engines, apparently indestructible, but knowing me, I managed to break one. So it was used for heavy farm use before I had it, before I bought it, so that could be part of it. Now right here where this cursor is, you might see I could just buy a remanufactured long block engine, which is fully assembled bottom end, fully assembled head, and that comes with a crank and a cam and pistons, and you know, it's an assembled block and an assembled head, and all I would need to do is put the accessories on it. But I'm not going to do that, and as you can see, that cost $2,201.99, so $2,202 basically, to just buy a remanufactured engine from Vega. But anyway, now Old Blue is apparently out of time. I don't know if it's just you know, the timing gear slipped, or if I cracked valves, and it's got no compression, so I don't know what's going on with it really until I open it up, which I might do over Christmas break depending on how my other engine build goes. Hint hint, that is coming very soon. So here's my list in the wish list. So as you can see here, I have a Vega remanufactured head. That is for an 87 to 96 Ford 300. So I don't think I want to use my current head, because chances are it will be warped and it will need decked and everything like that, and it's going to be nasty. So I figured just buy a fully new assembled head with all the valves and everything in it, and then I can have that sent out, brand new head, clean, ready to go. I'm thinking taking that to a machine shop with the block, and I'm going to have the block board out. Probably, here's the pistons I want to put in it. Yeah, so 60 thousandths over board, and I think I'm going to have the head ported and polished, which means where the valves are, they'll pull the valves out of it. Well, I'll pull the valves out of it. But what they're going to do is take like a die grinder with a die in it, and they're going to open up the ports for the intake and exhaust valves, and just make it more smooth and flow better, and then they're going to polish the combustion chamber. What that does is it creates a better combustion, because then it won't create pockets on the rough cast combustion chamber. So if it's all smooth, nothing can stick to it and create buildup or anything like that. So I'm going to get this head, probably, if I rebuild it. We'll see how the old head looks first, but that is $379 or $375.99. That's just for a fully assembled engine head, drop on, ready to go. You know, put your push rods and your rockers on it, and you're good to go. So then we have our pistons. This is a set of 6. And if I order them today, apparently I could get them tomorrow. But anyway, these for a set of 6, these are cast aluminum pistons. I believe they are, yeah, these are flat top pistons. They're not dished or anything like that. So the bore is 4.06 inches, so that's 60 thousandths over board, because these engines are 4-inch bored from the factory. Yeah, so they are completely flat. There is no piston head volume as you can see here, 0.0 cc's. They are press fit wrist pins, which is stock. Let's see here, piston ring thickness, so we need 5/64, 5/64 and 3/16. So these, compared to the V8s, I'm pretty sure the small block V8s had 5 piston rings, and these have 3 rings. So this is sold as a set of 6. And you can see there's stroker combinations and compressor calculators here. I'm not going to do any of that because I'm just going to rebuild it. But those are the pistons I plan on getting right here. Silva-Lite cast pistons. They are aluminum, I believe. Yep, cast aluminum right here. Flat top with no valve reliefs. And they are a stock engine stroke piston. So I am going to keep the original crank. So here's the ring set. As you can see, I made sure to get the 5/64, 5/64, 3/16 ring set. It is a 6-cylinder set for 60 thousandths overboard, and that is a $55 set. So for the piston and piston ring setup, that is $270, $275 for the pistons and rings. As you can see here, this is a Transdap performance chrome valve cover. I don't know how you have a performance valve cover. All it does is keep oil in the top of the head, you know, from slinging everywhere. But I figured if I'm going to do a nice build, I'll clean up the block I have and repaint it. And get a chrome valve cover just because it looks nice. Alright, so then Mishimoto valve cover oil fill caps. That was just a maybe. I don't know if I'll get that. Alright, so then we have a Melling high volume oil pump. Obviously, if you're going to do a performance build, you're going to need a high volume oil pump because you're going to pump a lot of oil. And to complement that, we have the Melling oil pump screen assembly here. Which just is a direct replacement part, but it'll work with the high volume oil pump here. So then we have, next there's a K&N Universal Performance Air Filter. This is for a 300 straight 6. This filter goes right onto the throttle body. There is no intake tubes or anything like that with this. You just bolt it right on, and put it right on, and it should be good to go. So here, this is the big one for me. This is one thing that I really wanted to get. The stock radiator that comes in these is like 1.5 inches thick. You know, pretty small radiator. This radiator, I believe, is 3 inches thick. 2.2 inches thick. So that's the core thickness. This is a 3-row radiator, which means it has 3 passages, 3 places for the coolant to go. It is a cross flow, which is better for cooling because it takes longer for the coolant to pass through the radiator, whereas a vertical flow, it just kind of goes up and down really, really fast because of gravity. And this is a direct replacement. It will bolt straight into the to the truck, but I might have to get custom fabricated hoses for that. Well, I guess not fabricated, just get custom, you know, hoses for that to fit. So next thing we have, I see these rocker arms on a lot of people's builds, and I know these are really, really good rockers. These are Harlan Sharp original rockers, and they are a 1.6 ratio, whereas the standard is a 1.5 ratio. These are aluminum. I believe they are billet. Let's see, rocker material. It just says aluminum. I don't know if they're billet or if they're cast. They look billet to me. These are a roller rocker, which means they have a pin going through them. They have a pivot instead of a focal point. It's got 3/8 studs that come with it, and it is a full set of 12 for the Ford 300 L6, as you can see right here, and right here Ford 240/300, which is the same engine. The 300 is just bored. Yeah, they're a full roller 1.6 ratio, 3/8 stud size. They are a standard rocker arm body style. The fasteners are included. The nuts are Polylock. These are an orange anodized set, anodized aluminum, so they're nicely coated. That is why they are almost $500 for a set of 12. But those will be a great addition. So then here we have obviously our main bearings and our rod bearings and stuff like that we have to replace because you just do. Alright, so then we have the Comp Cam's High Energy Cam and Lifter Kit. So this is a big boy lifter, or a big boy cam kit. It's a hydraulic flat tappet. This whole kit, this includes, well, let's go over the specs. So it's a hydraulic flat tappet. Basic operating range is 1200 to 5200, so it should idle about 1200 with this cam. in theory, and it should max out at 5200. That's the basic operating range. Obviously, you can change that kind of stuff with timing. But the intake duration at a 50 thousandths lift is 218. Exhaust is the same. Duration here is 218, intake, exhaust. Now the advertised intake duration is 268, and the advertised exhaust is 268. So that should be good. This is a lot more than 218, but as you can see, it's a balanced cam. It's 268, so it should be all right. Intake valve lift with factory rocker arm ratio, which is 1.5, is 0.456. So the 1.6 should get us to about 0.48 inches of lift. Alright, so lobe separation is 110 degrees. I don't really know much about lobe separation. I do know that the rocker arm ratio is very simple. Grind number is 268H, which is why it's a 268 intake, 268 exhaust. It is not computer controlled compatible, so that's good because we have a full mechanical engine. Except for the fuel injection. That is the only thing that's electronic, and that has nothing to do with the cam. So the lifters are included. There's a hydraulic flat tappet. Valve springs are included. Outside diameter of the springs is 1.4 inches. So, you know, grab your ruler and go 1.4 inches. That's how big they are. There are no retainers included. Locks are included. Valve stem seals are included. Timing chain and gears are included. Timing chain style is a geared style. Same thing that's on it from the factory. Which tend to slip and stretch over time. I'm pretty sure that's what happened to it, and then I cracked valves on the old engine. Now, it will need assembly lubrication is included. They'll probably send me a bottle in the box, and this is sold as a kit. There are no push rods, no rocker arms, no gaskets, and no, the valve springs are not required because they have them. So, no gaskets, no rocker arms, and no push rods. But that is fine because we already have all of those. I think we would probably just use the standard rocker arms, as you can see in this picture here. Maybe I can blow it up a little bit. Let's see if we go. Yeah, there we go. So you can see these are the timing gears. These are the bottom seals for the valves. These are the seals. I'm pretty sure these are the valve spring retainers, even though it says it doesn't come with them. These are locks, and then obviously we have all of our valve springs, our lifters, and our camshaft right here. So this is a very choppy cam. No, wrong button. Hold on a minute, give me a sec. There we go. Beautiful. So, can we actually blow this up a little bit? Like that? Oh, there we go. That's a little better. Alright, so now we're going to go back. So that's the cam setup we're going to run on it. We're not going to run headers, and the only reason I am not going to run headers and I'm going to run these stock EFI exhaust manifolds is because these flow much better than the long tube headers that you can get from Hedman or from Hooker or anything like that. So I'm going to run these standard exhaust manifolds, but I think what I'm going to do is do a basically a double hood stack with it, or a 2-into-1 single like 4 or 5 inch hood stack, just because that will just give it crazy flow right out of there, which will be better for performance. And then we come up to the very top of the list here, and we have all of our stud kits. So this is the ARP High Performance Series connecting rod bolts. These are for the 300 inline 6 and is a set of 12. They are $50 for these. This holds the connecting rods onto the crankshaft. And then we have the main stud kits. So this kit is for the 2-bolt main, which is what the 300s are. This is for the L6, the 300. It is a kit. It is also from ARP, and this is for holding the crankshaft in when you put the bearings and the caps on. So stud kits are really good. And then we have the ARP Pro Series cylinder head stud kits. This is a common mod that people do to their vehicles. Usually head studs hold a little better than head bolts. These are for the 300. It is a kit for the 300. These are hex nuts instead of a 12-point nut. Excuse me. And the hex nuts were a little bit cheaper. I don't really know what the benefit of having a 12-point nut is, but I chose the hex nuts just because they were cheaper. So that is the full build list at the moment. So if we go to the shopping cart, you are going to see that all of this stuff combined You might have seen it on my Instagram already. Comes out to $2,386.16. Now, you're going to say, but Noah, that's more expensive than just buying a remanufactured engine. Well, yes, I know that, but it's not as fun to buy a brand new engine and just drop it in your vehicle. And Old Blue is my baby, and I want to make it nice. Those remanufactured engines are completely stock. They're not going to have these stud kits. They're not going to have a high performance cam. They're not going to have the nice big performance radiators or the air filters or high flow oil pumps. Yeah, and they're not going to have ported and polished heads, which, I mean, this isn't a ported and polished head, but I'm going to have this one ported and polished if I decide to rebuild. So, yeah, so this is the full build list. This is what it would cost as of right now, obviously. If I have the head ported and polished, then that's going to cost probably, I don't know, somewhere between $200 and $250 maybe. And to have the block bored and decked out to 60 thousandths is probably going to cost a lot. Yeah, and if they hot tank it for me so I can paint it, that would be nice too. So this is all going to cost a lot of money. The other thing I thought about doing is going to, I believe it's XP1 engines. Yeah, Extreme Performance remanufactured rebuild engines and transmissions. So these guys remanufacture engines, engine blocks, and all that kind of stuff. So we are going to go to the Ford category, and we are going to scroll down until we find a Ford 300 short block, which is just a block. Alright, so in this picture there's only 5 cylinders. I don't know why, but this does not even look like a Ford engine block, so it might just be a generic render of a picture. Let's see. Yeah, so this original cost was $1,295. It is now $895. I'm guessing that's for Christmas. But anyway, yeah, so let's see. What does it include? Completely remanufactured short block, rods and pistons, timing cover, and oil pan. Timing cover and oil pan are not included, but it does come with rods and pistons. So chances are we would probably pull those pistons out and put new pistons on the rods that are already in here, because they're probably an I-beam rod, which are very durable. They probably, yeah, this is an I-beam rod right here. You can see it's cast and it looks like a steel I-beam. So we would probably pull those pistons out and put our pistons in. Yeah, so that's the plan, guys, as of right now. It's all a maybe, but it is definitely worth it to me to put this much money into Old Blue, because I love that truck. And the other thing is the transmission in Old Blue is going out, so I figure my plan, this is just massively a maybe. Old Blue's body, the body on Old Blue, is in very good condition compared to Black Beauty. So Old Blue's frame actually has big rust holes in it right around the back suspension, and there's a lot of other things wrong with Old Blue. So what I think I'm gonna do is rebuild Old Blue's engine, and maybe put Black Beauty's transmission behind it and drive that up here back and forth to school, while I work on getting the frame of Black Beauty cleaned up, redone, and then put the body, engine, and transmission of Old Blue on Black Beauty's frame, and that will give me one very, very nice truck to drive, while the other one is kind of junky, but I can use it as parts or for parts. And Old Blue also has that really nice blue interior, whereas Black Beauty has the red, and I really like the blue interior. So this is all a giant maybe, and this is probably going to be a multi-year project. Even after I'm done with college, I'll probably still be working on this, but over Christmas break, if I get the time and decide that it's going to be worth it, I might pull Old Blue's engine and start a teardown series on that and go over what I think needs done, and maybe talk to some people that I know who are more in-depth into the engine thing, into engine building, like they've been doing it for a long time, to see what they think I should do with it. But that's all I got for you on this video today, guys. This is the second video I'm uploading today. The first one was a tool review on the Milwaukee Impact, so I hope you guys go watch that, and I will leave a link to my merch store in the link down below, so go ahead and check that out. I would really appreciate if you guys would go cop some of that. It would really help me out, and it would get me a kickstart into this engine build right here, as you can see. Look at this price tag. That ain't gonna be easy to come by. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys like the ideas I've got going. Again, this is just an idea, just a thought, a very big maybe, but it is possible if I do things the right way with my money. So, I'm going to end this video here. Make sure you click the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications, and drop a like on this video. If you leave a dislike on this video, make sure you leave a comment as to why. I'm always looking for ways to improve. So, with that said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.